Hey everybody, what do you say? Gannon here, JJ59, and I guess what I'll call today's video is picking up a few dropped stitches and loose ends. I got that phrase from a great classical music DJ. His name was Terry Tao, and he used to have this great radio show every Thursday. He used to call it Tao on Thursday at Princeton University, WPRB. And the show would start, God, when would it start? 5 or 6 in the morning, then it would go to 11. And he would often feature a particular classical artist. And of course, he'd, vary what he played through the show. And sometimes he would just say, today's show is just going to be covering, some drop stitches and loose ends, just playing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, maybe some stuff he had featured on an earlier show, and, maybe playing a little bit more of that. And, God, yeah, he was great. He was something else. And of his show, if you had to cover somebody's show on a different day, let's say on a Friday, he would call his show Tao on Thursday on Friday. Yeah, I miss him. He was really something. He also DJ'd at a few other radio stations, WBAI in New York, WKCR. But anyway, so today's theme is drop stitches and loose ends. And first thing I'd like to do is to follow through on some promises that I made to Ken at Nuthin Fancy Collectibles. He wanted to see what the Monkees flip books looked like. And this is the only one I have. And the reason why I purchased this one a few years ago was because I do remember that this was the first one I got. And, I was a big Mickey Dolenz fan, as I said in a previous video. And, of course, in this picture, you see Davey on the left. You see Mike Nesmith in the back, Peter Tork, and then Mickey in the front. And this is called Monkey Shines. And all you do is you'd put your thumb up at the top, and you'd flip through, and the images, would give the appearance of moving, right? And I'd have to practice to make that go a little bit more smoothly, right? And then on the back, they'd have something else, like here. Here you go. This is, Okay. Davey comes in there at the end. So that's what a Monkees flip book is like. I believe it says there were 16 books in the series. And yeah, you can find them on eBay. And this one was number 16. Okay, so that's what a Monkees flip book is like. And then also, I promised in a previous video I'd discuss this football player. His name was J.D. Hill. And he was a first-round draft pick for the Buffalo Bills in 1971. He excelled as an athlete in college, in track, football, and baseball. And he was, a promising wide receiver. And he played for 7 years, and he was good. But he got injured very early on in his career, actually his first season. He hurt his knee. And that probably compromised, his career a bit. And after playing 5 seasons for the Bills, I believe he was then traded to the Lions. And unfortunately, his career was cut short due to the problems he had with knee injuries. He, unfortunately, after that, really kind of, went off the rails. He actually said that the painkillers he was taking, when he was still playing to deal with the pain that he was playing through, started him on the road toward a drug addiction. When he stopped playing, he turned to alcohol and to drugs, and he really, went on a, you know, went on in a bad way for about 10 years. And when finally his family and friends were able to intervene with him, he turned to the church, and he actually, he cleaned himself up, got off the drugs, got his life together, and he started his own ministry. Yeah. So that's a little bit about the wide receiver J.D. Hill. Now this, the next thing I want to do is picking up a drop, stitch, and loose end. Was way back several months ago. Mike's Mr. October had a VR, and I kept meaning to do it, and I never did it. And he wanted us to talk about, I can't remember exactly what it was, but he wanted us to talk about a favorite player that we had. And back in the early 1970s, the Yankees were having some third base problems. And in 1972, they tried out this infielder named Rich McKinney, who had come over from the White Sox. And he was really a second baseman, but they tried him out at third, and he was a bit of a disaster, and they tried Hal Lanier. Finally, they turned to this gentleman. His name was Celerino Sanchez, and he came from the Mexican leagues. And when he joined the Yankees in 1972, he was 28 years old, and he was something else. He was a great fielder. He was an electric player. Got a lot of clutch hits and was a fan favorite. And I remember, really liking him. I got to see him play at the old Yankee Stadium a few times. And this is his 1973 Topps card, and this is a custom card of his. And there's nothing on the back. And, he played that one season for the Yankees, and then in 1973, the Yankees got Greg Nettles, and that was that. He finally left the Yankees, and he returned to play ball for a while in the Mexican League. Sadly, he passed away very young. I believe he was 43. But he was definitely one of my favorites, and I don't know if you remember him, Mike. Yankees 1972. Celerino Sanchez. And lastly, this is for Drew, Clean Cheap Shots. I never got around to doing your video response, and I just, just wanted to, throw my hat. I mean, I'm not throwing my hat in the ring. The contest is over, but I just wanted to recognize that you had the contest, and I wanted to talk about four of my favorite players who came from New York. One of my favorite New Yorkers is, shout out to Pick a Jim here, Rico Petrocelli, who, while of course he played for the Boston Red Sox and was their premier shortstop for a long time, he came from Brooklyn, Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn specifically, and I had a cousin who lived in Sheepshead Bay, and he was the one who told me when I was a kid that Rico Petrocelli came from Sheepshead Bay. He played baseball for Sheepshead Bay High School, and I kind of prided myself on knowing that back then in the early 70s when, probably a lot of kids may not have known that. So for sentimental reasons there, Rico Petrocelli is one of my favorite New York players, New York-born athletes. Here's a 1968 card of the 1967 World Series between the Red Sox and the Cardinals, where he hit 2 home runs in Game 6 of that series, and the Red Sox went on to beat the Cardinals that game 8-4. pushing the series to 7 games. Another one of my favorite New York-born players is Whitey Ford. He was born in New York City, but his family moved out to Astoria, Queens. The winningest pitcher in New York Yankees history with 236 wins. And yeah, just, one of the greats. That's Whitey Ford. Definitely a money pitcher. He set the record for scoreless innings in World Series play with, I think it was 33, over 33 innings. And this is his 1967 Topps card. And this was, not this particular one, but this was my first Whitey Ford card, the first one I ever got. And next is Sandy Koufax. And this is one of my favorite all-time cards. Just one of my favorite cards ever. Sandy, grew up in Brooklyn and played ball there, and he was picked up by the Brooklyn Dodgers. Took him a while to, get his control together. Famously, I think he was throwing the ball to, I think it was Norm Sherry, the catcher, and I think Norm Sherry suggested that he try easing off things a little bit, and he started to have better control. Sandy Koufax famously said that he became a better pitcher when instead of trying to make the batters miss the ball, he became the pitcher he became when he let the batters hit the ball, and as we know, the rest is history. This is the 1964 Topps card of Game 1 of the 1963 World Series between the Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers, where Sandy struck out 15 batters that day. And I just love this card. This is one of the most amazing baseball cards ever. And lastly, Ed Kranepool, born in the Bronx, another one of my favorite New Yorkers. This is his 1971 Topps card. I was really glad for him, because he was one of the original New York Mets, and he got to experience the 1969 World Series win with the Mets. Yeah, he was platooned a bit with Don Clendenin, and I just felt glad that he was a part of that. And he was a great guy, and sadly we just lost him not too long ago. So those are 4 of my favorite New Yorkers, So that's where I'm going to leave it. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.